обе команды готовились к этому матчу, и мы увидим весьма зрелищные баталии. Нельзя eXtautsам проигрывать эту карту, иначе они могут взять и напортачить себе очень плохих дел. Еще 4-3, потому что были проблемы снова у финнов, снова интернет их подвел. И, собственно говоря, мы начинаем именно уже с 8-го раунда. Так что не пугайтесь, не путайтесь, все в порядке. Просто технические проблемы со стороны одной из команд привели к такому положению на этой карте. 2 в 2. Барби и Frozen против Соу и Зори. Кстати, Зори показал себя очень неплохо против команды Метод, где они выиграли свой матч в очень плотной битве. Там было 2 овертаймов, и Соу оформляет голову Барби. Только один Frozen. Остается команда eXtauts. Нужно плент выбивать, который уже стоит. Но пытался прошить, как же жесток Соу, в голову забирает последнего игрока защиты, и счет уже 4-4 по деньгам у команды eXtauts. Как-то все очень хромает, хотя Девил имеет 9350, может дать дроп одному-двум тиммейтам, но что у нас будет получаться? От одного девайса будут играть? По-моему, так и будет. Артики решили занять центр, это очень выгодная позиция на карте Демираж, нужно им двигаться дальше, но куда они пойдут, это уже вопрос совершенно другой. Либо на зигзаг, либо уже, да, они проходят зигзаг, и Соу находится на коврах Б-плента, где его ждет уже Барби. Правда, Барби не имеет девайсов, не имеет арморов. X7 подлавливает на шартах. Фроузен оставляет команду eXtauts вчетвером, и Снейкс имеет всего лишь 9 хп. Капарда в спине у X7, но X7 как-то чувствовал и предвидел такой выход, а на развороте поставил голову Капарза. Бомба на Б-пленте, но там есть игрок защиты где-то на коврах. Ой, боже мой, как разваливается команда eXtauts. Остается только один Снейк с 9 хп. Ну и это 5-й раунд для финнов. Все довольно просто, все пока у них получается без особых проблем. Но посмотрим, как чехи покажут себя на бай-раунде, что они противопоставят вот такой вот напористой финской атаке. p3sta на шартах примерно понимает, где находится последний игрок защиты. Снейкс не хочет погибать, есть у него 5-7, и терять его нет никакого смысла. Какой промах от p3sta ужасный, и погибает от Снейкса. Ну, девайс есть, хотя X7 тут же его добирает. 5-4 в пользу команды Arctic, но 2 девайса смогли выбить. Байраунд. От чехов имеется все, 2 арморы, есть снайперская винтовка, я так понимаю. По фрагам пока все очень плохо. У Барби 0 фрагов имеет за 9 раундов. Снейкс оформляет сразу же выход. Сагертон падает. Топ-фрагер своей команды. p3sta в размене забирает Девила. Ну и Снейкс принимает выход с ковров аплента. 4 в 3. Снова мы уже видим такую ситуацию, как и на 8-м раунде. Но Соу разменивает своего тиммейта. Frozen забирает и p3sta. 3 в 2. Можно пробовать играть. Зажим хороший от Frozen, но только вносит дэмэджа, но не убивает Соу. Минусует Frozen за такую промашку, хотя по хп у команды Arctic все очень плохо. 32 и 26 хп. У финнов неужели пойдут в аплент, хотя можно было разыграть все немножко интереснее. Есть куча времени, чтобы сбегать на б-плент, либо же кому-то выйти хотя бы через ковры, куда и устремился Соу. Снайперская винтовка у Капарса, Барби с Фамасом, 2 арморы имеются, Соу на яме, но и на коврах. Неужели все-таки будет игрок и атаки? Да, X7 уже находится под коврами, нужно ему выходить. По времени еще слишком много, но eXtauts тоже не двигаются, ждут своих оппонентов. Нужно Соу делать фраг, иначе он погибнет. Капарза уже начинает чекать, но какой же неудачный тайминг для снайпера чешского. Барби уже понимает, что бомба будет стоять на А-пленте, начинает свой выход, бомба ставится в дефолте. Ну и как же сыграет Барби в этом моменте? Нужно почекать под коврами, но будет ли этот самый чек? Либо же Барби просто раунд отдаст, и ничего не произойдет. Есть фраг по X7, но только один Соу остается. О нем не знает пока игрок защиты, хотя должен чекать под коврами. Неужели это будет такой ужасный раунд? Даже не посмотрел в эту позицию. 6-й раунд приносит Соу своей команде, и 6-4. Смотрим на реплей, как происходил выход от Арктиков. Получил
eXtauts, eXtauts. I don't know how you guys pronounce that name, but eXtauts is what I'm gonna go with. assuming that that's right, hopefully. RCTIC with p3sta once again, and I'm not sure, we can't hear their steps. Is that a bug? They will be rushing up towards connector without any further difficulties. Funny enough, I mean, you know, after all, they're meeting a very low budget round, so having that in mind is very important as you're seeing them rush here. But this is still very, and for eXtauts, this is, I mean, if they want to go for a retake with pistols, that, you know, that's not what they're looking for here. What they were thinking is, hey, we might as well just shock them by going for a very, very aggressive, you know, push anywhere. And, you know, it works to an extent that, okay, at least they survive, and they might be able to catch some players off guard. As there, for example, Zori here coming up towards B, they catch him off guard, get that weapon, pick that up, together with smoke. You know, it's just fair. They pick that up, go for the save, an optimal move. At the end of the day, they do profit well off of this round. Saw with the AK-47 going in for a headshot on sneaks, coming up for a peek inside of connector, or not, inside of slope, pardon me for that. And with this AK-47, Saw will be backing off again. The bomb will be going off. And funny enough, I do believe that Barb will be losing that AK just in time. And Sagraton saves RCTIC pretty much from giving them the money that they need in this situation. eXtauts, it's not very needed, since every single one of them can afford a def kit together with the equipment that they need. The equipment that they need, except from Barbie. So this is still eXtauts not necessarily profiting from that round very well, but they knew that, you know, if we eco this, we're going to have enough money for the next upcoming round, and they actually exploited that in the best possible way. Quasi-buy could be an option here, but then they would have, and this is something that many people don't get, then they would have to get a couple of frags, which they got one, but they'd have to profit and go in for a couple of saves, I'm assuming, so. Continuing in this round, however, 7-4 is what we're seeing in RCTIC here. They've already won the first map, so with that in mind, eXtauts probably very nervous to go in for peaks here. They're not really as safe as RCTIC are during this map overall, so Barbie still in this same position, just waiting for someone to push, and Saw has been stepping, so knowing that someone is just around the corner is very key for him to go in for this kill. X7 will be going in for another one. Sneaks will be falling down, and look at that, eXtauts, they do trade off with a couple of good frags, if I can put it that way. They do pick up the one-man advantage, but p3sta, who's going crazy with the spray right there, Caparza will be going down, makes sure that it is ending up with a 2-on-2 situation here. p3sta and Sori together playing this against Barbie and Devil, as they will be trying to go in for the retake after that bomb is going to get planted, just as I mentioned it. RCTIC, we're playing this very safe play, but p3sta is hungry for a frag, and I'm not sure if this is a risky play at all, because there's no one really looking at the back of CT, and even if he wasn't even pushing CT, he went down to middle, so Barbie, he has to check that area as well, just as well as there's one in slow, so this is a double play coming up by RCTIC, a very smart and profound one. Oh my god, Sori with the kills, and I mean, that is something you have to give to RCTIC. They do split themselves up in the best possible way, and that just proves that the communication on this team is at its absolute max right now. They're going down the middle. They're making sure that, okay, eXtauts, if they want to go in for this diffuse, at least what we have is the advantage of shooting from different positions and angles. And as one of them diffuses, it's obviously going to be even harder for them to hold down from these two angles with only one member shooting towards us. So just an obvious advantageous move for us to go with that couldn't be more optimal. They do continue, and it's going to be X7 coming up on this site once again with another frag. Sneaks going down, supported by Sagraton in the early beginning of this one, dealing a lot of damage to him together with that nade, I believe that was. Coming up p3sta with another one, and Devil falls down. X7, every single one of them, they're playing this, and this is something with the pistols. I mean, they do invest a couple of dollars into this round. I mean, more than 1,000 at least. I mean, look at Barbie. He has that Deagle, 700 plus 1,000. So at the end of the day, he's been wasting a lot of money here. Picking up that AK-47 will be key to profiting off of this round. Once again, a quasi-buy where it's very optimal to get a couple of frags. Then at the same time, it's not necessary for them to get these frags. It's not necessarily something that they need to do. looking at the economical situation, I mean, obviously they do have what it takes to buy that dev kit, buy that equipment that they need, and, you know, eventually even pick up that op on Caparzo to deal with the long-range battles against Arctic here. Sori, though, he has been a very key player when it comes to playing this one match so far. Haven't seen the rounds that got paused, obviously, but so far so good for him, I want to say. And with that AWP in hand, I can only imagine what he can do in this game, and what, especially on Mirage, being a map where mid might seem like a very lucrative area for the CTs. I mean, the Ts as well, if they're just willing to play that aggressive play and have the confidence that it takes, they're able to get these kills, and Sori is that one player that I've seen, at least in past events, do that. So Arctic, they will be trying to execute into the B side, and as they do, X7 will be going in for Devil and Sori just across the map. Every single one of them will be doing a lot of work, and look at this A fake that they're doing. I mean, Arctic, they're splitting this up in the best possible way to just scare away eXtauts. There's just nothing that they can do at this stage. Just seeing as, Arctic, they got the kills, obviously. Not only that, they faked it. It's not even A. They turned a lot of players towards that A site. They got I don't know what amount of frags. And there's just nothing that eXtauts can do to read these guys off. What's funny here is, as well as Arctic, you know, they're absolutely trying their hardest here. Nothing that, you know, I wouldn't say eXtauts doesn't, but Arctic are definitely deserving these rounds. They're playing with such passive play, not only passive towards that B side, really timing it well with the people across the map, just proving once again that, you know, they've got the communication. Sagatron with the double kill. Barbie and Caparzo just goes down. Saw with that flashbang coming down towards B. Frozen will be going in for the first frag, missing out on a couple of shots. Will be crucial at this stage, going down to 20 HP, and p3sta will be finishing him off. And, you know, eXtauts, they invest so much dollars. Once again, they invest so much money into these rounds. They only get a couple of frags here and there. They don't even damage Arctic's economy kill situation at some point. So this is, and oh my god, Sneaks is just burning to the ground, getting stuck into that corner, almost about to get knifed. p3sta was ready for that. Gives away a frag though for Sneaks, and opens up a few amount of dollars for him to take home. And Arctic are being really disrespectful here. They're being very disrespectful with the Zeus's, with the knives, with everything. Well, you know, it's all about having that good jolly time though, right? Isn't it? So Arctic, at the end of the day, kudos. I like having a small portion of fun in every game, and this is something you can give to me. I think you need to force a switch. Oh, whatever. So, we will be having a short commercial break during the halftime. Hope you guys have enjoyed my cast so far. This has been Balti the King. We will be going live with the next half just after this.
Go where the winners go.
All right, but you heard him. You heard him. Go where the winners go. I'm not sure who made that voice, but he had a very deep voice. But not, you know, enough about that. We're gonna talk about the game here, right? Arctic versus eXtauts. And I mean, looking at, I've not seen eXtauts play too much. I've heard about Devil. I've heard about him. He's pretty much the only one. Caparzo, Barbie, you know, these are players that you know, they're notorious, but they're not well known. And Arctic, I'm not sure where I want to put them in my list of rankings, but I want to say that Arctic is definitely one of the teams that are next to Torpedo in performance. I mean, Torpedo, sure, they're on a, I wouldn't say higher level, but I mean, looking at Nordic Masters, Arctic are probably above I don't know what. A very big average when it comes to Torpedo's individual plays, but that's beyond the point. You know, overall, Torpedo actually has they've shown more results, pretty much, or, you know, more improvement. I want to say Arctic at the same time has that very key strat play that I really like, where they force a lot of players out in the field of their sites, pretty much. If there's anyone out in middle, they can make sure that they walk out by just throwing a couple of flashbangs, provoking a couple of players. And this is something that you do not see from a lot of semi-professional teams. I've not seen eXtauts before, so there's no, I can't draw a comparison between these two teams. I'd love to, but at this point, I can only talk for Arctic and how I've seen them play so far. What I want to say about Arctic is that they have this very key strat, or I'm not necessarily sure that it's even a strat. What I do know is that this is something that works in the end. If you want to push people out and make sure that they're open widely out for you to shoot them, they do have the nades to provoke them out in the field, and that's really necessary on the T side, playing pretty much any map, especially Nuke being one of the additions that might be jumping in on the major map pool eventually. I hope so, at least. I'd love to see that. But, you know, maps that are currently in there, such as Kabul, where the CT side can be super OP if you know how to play that right. A lot of smokes, you know, you can just block people out on long. If you hold drop the right way, if you have a couple of refraggers right there, there's just no way no one's going to push you. There's no rushes there. Like, it's a good map to play on the CT side, as well on the T side, if you know how to play that. And this is something that I find RCTIC having. So, looking back at Train and all of these maps, I'd love to say that RCTIC has that nines of play that it takes to play a lot of the T-sided maps. Then again, on the CT side, I'm not sure where I want to put RCTIC. I mean, they're a very good team, and that's all I really can say. That they know how to play that safe, but they can also push at very weird occasions. They can push, and they can win those rounds because they know that, okay, if we push now, we're gonna shock these guys, and luckily enough, they do get a couple of frags here and there and what's so not. So it's all good in the hood for them. Restored score, and RCTIC is back on the CT side. What? Here we go. Is it fixed now? Do we go live? Woo! RCTIC again looking good. I hope so, bro. I hope so. Match is paused by admin, and it's unpaused by admin. Cool beans. Cool beans, boys. Alright, so what do we see here? Do we see any strategical move here from RCTIC? P3sta, yeah, yep. It looks like eXtauts at least are going to go with some tactical moves, looking at the amount of nades that they bought. We've got Molotovs on Devil, Barbie, Sneaks, and Caparzo, as Frozen is kind of the tank for this team to push through all of this haze of nades. And as they're just hailing it down, he'll be there to try and get a couple of frags. So that's probably what he's going to be doing. Sneaks will be going in for that first kill just through the smoke. Nasty frag coming up as Suri falls down. P3sta, with this P2000, we'll be trying to make something happen on a short. Barbie will be missing out on a couple bullets, but still gets that kill. X7 just allowing him to get that 2-1-4 situation in RCTIC. They're down to a 2, like, at this stage of the game, you might want to take this one round home, because given eXtauts this very big courage to push you on the CT side, this is just not what RCTIC was hoping to see here. And these nades, and this is, once again, what they did here was, they had a few folks in middle, and they had a few folks up towards B that waited for a while. And they used tons of smokes and flashes up towards middle to make sure that everybody who's here is blind as they started pushing up on short. As soon as they got that first kill, they didn't allow anyone else to pass through that area. And having an anti-rotator on the T side being very key to what RCTIC usually does on the CT side, and as I mentioned earlier, is that they like to push and make sure that they shock people instead of, you know, just leaving mid open. As they push into that B side, they leave one member there to get the rotation frags, and that's one of the key things to not only that give them a win, but also the fact that they have very good individual skill, and luckily enough survives as they push into that B side, meeting a lot of the players who are super ready to get them right there. So eXtauts, they do pick up that round in a fair way. And looking at RCTIC, they're gonna go with a not too heavily bought round, because they do only have a couple of nades and a couple of pistols. There's not too much invested into this round, so one of those quasi buys that I like to see. And this is back again to the key days when we saw Kaboom TD and the gang. But what is going on, RCTIC? What are you doing? What? Saw, Zuri, Zagerton, you are monsters. Jesus Christ, every single one. I'm not even sure. We spectated. One guy got one frag on that A side. That's what I saw. The rest of that second just went, I don't know where. eXtauts just fell down to the ground. Saw is able to spot a player out, and I'm not sure. So we had a very good idea of where Caparzo was right there. I'm pretty sure that was because of the info called by the death cam. So the communication still, RCTIC's team seems to be at its very, very top. we do continue, and as time flies by, RCTIC here will be playing a very safe play on this A-side twist. He's forced to back off. He knows that, there's a lot of people coming up at me right now, panicking, backing off. But he's still alive, and that's really key. Playing around with the numbers is definitely what you want to do here. Not allowing them to get this plant. But then again, going in for the retake might be the safe move. So they will be doing so. Economically, they do give a lot of money over to the T side. But at the end of the day, 13-5, it's looking very promising for RCTIC right here. And the bright light at the end actually sheds really strong at them. So I tried to put some rumbled words right there out, but I just failed. I know, Jesus. 5-13, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. eXtauts with a little bit more heavy round to face RCTIC with. This time around, Sari has that AWP, and I'm not sure about p3sta here. Look at what p3sta bought. Funny enough, he's gonna go with that MP9 that I love to see very offensively, actually. But instead, he's just gonna play that close range towards slope. No, he will be pushing, or I'm just seeing him going back and forth. And Caparzo in this A side of the map, just sneaking around. eXtauts at this stage in the game, they're just playing this very safe play, knowing that RCTIC, they're very close to this win. If they do win this round, I mean, looking at the money that we've already got, we've lost 2 rounds in our shirt. It's a third win, but we still need to eco, right? Because it's not enough. 3.4K that is, so it's not enough to buy everything that we need. And it's going to be heavy if we're deciding to force that. Saw through that smoke. Devil just falls down. Caparzo with the AK-47 going in for a small peek up towards the A side. Doesn't spot a single man out. So at this stage, he should be thinking that, all right, the areas that I've already checked should be a bit more clean. But you never know when that peek comes up. So they want to make sure that they clean these areas off. Very obvious move. Saw with the AK-47. Checking out towards connector as there's a lot of sounds going on towards that area of the map. Then again, they've got the double play towards slope with p3sta, so they've got pretty much anything it takes. Caparzo trying to get a lot of info right here, but Sari still denies him. Sneaks will be going down, and he's allowed to back off. Saw with another one. eXtauts, they just fall apart as they push all through one squeaky area, and this is where the breaking point of this map really stands, where you can see that eXtauts many times in a row are trying to get through to these squeakier areas. It's like pushing squeaky on cash with a full team. It doesn't work like that, especially not in through connector. If you're playing mid, make sure that you're provoking a lot of players to push you first, especially on the CT side. If you're facing them on the CT side, or if you're facing them from the T side, and you want these CTs to push you, try and provoke them with a couple of nades. Make sure that they peek you first, get these early entries, because those are going to be key to you surviving in the pretty much next half of that round. So a very key move to go with. But then again, eXtauts, they have been risking those small plays at occasions, and they won those rounds as well. So keeping that in mind is also very key to understanding why sometimes this might work. Sagerton will be going in for a couple of frags as Saw will be supporting him, and it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, at this stage, they're just emitting pistols without any armor at all, so losing to Glocks would be very embarrassing at this stage, I'd say, because RCTIC, they had everything that they could ever have, but they do win that round, and nothing is going to be embarrassing as they do. 5-15, and eXtauts, it's looking very dark here. And I mean, I'm not even sure how long we've been live. We've been live for 25 minutes, and this is it's looking very dark for eXtauts already. Zuri on Devil right there. Good kill coming up to firstly enter in with this round. X7 and Saw across the map. We will be spotting him out. That smoke not making, and this is something that I like about RCTIC as well, is that these smokes that they're putting out there are, I'm not sure how, but if I was facing these smokes, I'd be very confused. Saw and p3sta will be going in for the first 2 kills. Barb and Sneaks falling down to the ground. Frozen on Saw right there, and Sari will be backing off. Frozen and Caparzo. 2-on-4 situation, and there is not much hope riding up here. I can tell you that. Caparzo will be going in for a first kill, though, and this is where things just might turn around. We need to see Frozen survive this, though, as he's facing a member up in middle. Is not very sure of whether he wants to go in for this peak or not. Playing a very, I'm not sure, a very laid-back play. Like, he wants to make sure that if this guy pushes, I'm gonna get this guy. And this is, once again, using these provocative nades. It doesn't work against RCTIC at this stage. X7 will be going down as Frozen is just on point after X7 decides to back off. So Timing is everything right here, ladies and gentlemen. 30 seconds remaining of this round as eXtauts starts executing into this site. And the AK-47 will be going down. Sagerton with the first kill. Barzo will be facing them in a one-on-one situation. And look at this. Sori has that AWP in hand. He knows that Caparzo is just about to push. Goes in for that peek and kills him. That is going to be GG, ladies and gentlemen. 16-5. And it's 2-0 to Arctic. Luckily winning this game at the very end of it all. Resumed from yesterday's, I think that was.